These are New Yorkers who've seen their city shaken, seen their city's finest risk their lives, lose their lives, helping others. These are New Yorkers who want to help.
I feel sad.
But this is the best they can do. When was the last time sanitation workers drew spontaneous applause? In this crowd, Greg Rome from Denver, moving soon to New Jersey. He understands what his new neighbors are trying to do.
I think that, the country's united in everything that we're doing here, and I think it's just moral support. There's a lot of people down here who I think want to help, and they just can't. They're kind of frustrated. So they're helping any way they can, and by cheering the troops on, I think that's what they're doing.
So these are the best of intentions at the worst of times. But for those who've sweated through back-breaking work, heartbreaking work, this seems all wrong.
Teardrops in my eye. You think this is time to cheers? I just pulled out a child, 7 years old, holding a teddy bear. You think it's cheers?
So the citizens on the streets can cheer their heroes, but the show of support outside the scene cannot take away the pain of what they've seen and done for days on the inside.
Been there since Tuesday. I haven't gone home to sleep. Okay? It hurts. It hurts. They're just babies.
With that, he walks away from the cheers he doesn't understand, away from those of us who'll never understand what he's seen and done at Ground Zero. Their voices raised in pride, their heads lowered in prayer. There is no patience here for the peace crowd.
My son is right. I'm an American just the same, and that's
This rally for the troops is for troops now at war.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm worried. I'm terrified.
In the crowd, many with loved ones on the front lines.
I'm scared to death.
Don Lucero's son, Fernando, is one of the thousands of Americans in the desert. He's 101st Airborne in Camp, Pennsylvania, the place where American Sergeant Hassan Akbar is accused of attacking his own. 15 injured, 1 dead.
His captain was killed.
Fernando Lucero heard it happen.
Well, they woke him up, obviously the big explosion right next door. His tent is right next to the officers. So he ran with all the GIs in his tent, and they start pulling out the officers right away and putting out the fires.
An example of just what happens when families hear about casualties half a world away.
Because we were so worried he had been killed or something, because we couldn't communicate with him.
They now know he's okay.
It's this flag that inspires them.
So a rally like this launched to let American forces know they're appreciated. And one Marine wife says it works.
This lifts my spirit so much. They have no idea this lifts my spirit so much.
Their eyes wet with worry,
You need to have
their
it on
flags
your car.
held with hope.
You need to have this flag.
This isn't typical traffic duty. Sergeant Dan Courtney is setting up to send a message, turning heads around town, turning speeders into readers. Donut shop ahead. Expect police in area. Drive accordingly.
Is that a joke?
Sure it is.
I laughed.
With purpose behind the humor.
After a month of doing that, we knocked Mississippi and Chambers from the #2 accident location to the #15 accident location.
The signs can go anywhere, say anything. This one appeals to the mellow side of the motorist. Stop road rage, listen to Jimmy Buffett. One summons a higher power than police to slow him down.
Have a bunch of fun with it.
His most intricate speeder stopper is a 3-parter. First, a warning. Police car ahead, better go slow. A few hundred yards later, there's the cruiser.
I saw a little car and hammed him as soon as I came over the hill. And I whoop, better hit my brakes now before I get in range.
Then drivers do a double take. Real cop car, fake cop. Then a final sign to finish the thought. Brake lights light up when drivers go by.
I think it's awesome because I think everybody should slow down. Everybody is always in a rush.
Police admit the sign readers only slow down for a short span, but it gets them thinking more about safety, appreciating police. Sometimes the dummy even has his own donut.
Okay.
Takes cops to make fun of cops. It's PR for the PD. A simple arpeggio on a single trumpet. Taps is a solo melody of mourning.
From this regimental combat team, 49 soldiers gave their lives.
The 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment, the Brave Rifles.
If I saw you in heaven.
They saw the face of the enemy over there. Now they see the faces of the families here.
They all had hopes and dreams of the future with their families. They all chose to put those dreams on hold until this mission was accomplished.
Lost now to a war the nation isn't really certain it still wants or ever did.
Nobody wants to go to war, nobody wants to die, but we volunteer for it, just so that people can have an opinion to say what they want.
Many question the cause, but what can't be questioned is the courage of the men and women who made it their mission, who died for their country.
There's no greater honor that I could show than just to show my support for my fallen friends.
Echo Company, 51st Infantry, Long Range Surveillance.
Fallen friends now honored permanently on their home post.
Armando Serrano, regulator battery.
The names carved in stone, read aloud one last time.
PFC, Justin W. Pollard.
No one wants to forget, we'll never forget, but there is some healing that goes on, and I think this helps. It really does.
This is a spot where soldiers and families will come for years to come, in honor of those 49 lost lives. As civilians, we all expect our soldiers to be brave. We just know they are. But few are brave enough for taps without tears.
Breaking news, hot on his trail at this hour. Police may have the raspy robber surrounded. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ernie Bjork.
And I'm Wendy Brockman. Police are keeping the location a secret because they don't want to tip their hands.
They believe the raspy robber, wanted in at least 23 holdups in the past 2 weeks alone, is himself holed up inside a house. Don Ward is at the scene where it's all left.
Well, Ernie, they tell us tonight that they believe it may be the raspy robber in a home off Federal behind me here. There may be 4 other people in that house, too, a man, a woman, and 2 children. Let's take a look at some videotape that we shot literally just a few minutes ago of a man being brought out, hands in the air. We don't know if this is the raspy robber suspect or perhaps one of the other people that was believed to be in the house with him. But this happened just a few minutes ago, obviously taking someone into custody. If this is the raspy robber, then it certainly means a lot of folks who work the night shift in the southwest part of Denver will be relieved.
One and a dog, $4.15.
In the cash register at Grandpa's Burger Haven,
85 cents.
there isn't much cash.
Very much? No, there isn't. Not at all. Not anymore, anyways. We don't keep anything over $40 now.
The restaurant is right in between 2 spots hit by the raspy robber earlier in his spree.
We are pretty scared. We usually stay in the back and watch the windows.
Just in case.
Guess he has a lot of people shook up.
Make me very scared.
She's one of them, just closing up the China House on South Broadway last night. She went outside to empty the trash and found herself face to face with the man in the mask.
He take a gun, he put it in my bed, tell me come in, take the money.
She says he took off in a truck. Minutes earlier, he tried to rob this Arby's and apparently left that crime scene on a bike. Just as he's changed his territory, he's also changed the getaway.
Hey man, give me the money.
Maybe because this liquor store clerk chased him away Wednesday night and got a good look at the getaway car. And now that the hunt for the raspy robber includes Denver, Sheridan, and Englewood cops, maybe something as simple as a traffic stop could trip him up.
Maybe he'll see the gun in the car and he'll search the car, or maybe he'll see the gray mask, or he'll be tipped off by the voice.
You ever get the feeling that maybe he's out there watching?
Yeah, sometimes, I think, maybe he comes in just to see what, how we handle our business.
So she was fearful when we talked to her, but perhaps that fear is over. Again, Denver police confirmed very little tonight, except that the man perhaps wanted in the raspy robber crimes has been holed up in a house back here with several other people. Let's roll the videotape again from just a few minutes ago. This is one man being brought out. It's difficult to see in this picture, I know. It's difficult to tell if perhaps that is the man they believe might be the raspy robber, but it is certainly someone that they were taking into custody. And again, they've been around this house now for an hour or more. A possible getaway car was also spotted a few blocks from here. We tried to go take pictures of that. Police are keeping that cordoned off right now as well. And so is it the white car they've been talking about for 2 weeks now, the one that's been used at several of these crime scenes? We can't tell you for sure. We can tell you again that a man believed to be the Raspy robber may even be in custody by now, certainly surrounded by police back here at a house just off of Federal. Reporting live in Denver, Don Ward, WB2 News.
All right, thanks, Don. People will be so relieved if we finally have a resolution to this.
Yeah, because this guy was really getting off on, I mean, what, 3 last night or 2 last night? Right. So we'll, of course, keep you updated throughout the hour if we get any new information on this person that's holed up in that house. Updating our breaking news tonight, police confirm they do indeed have the so-called Raspy robber surrounded.
That's right. Don Ward is live from the scene with the very latest. Don?
Wendy and Ernie, they have the man they believe is responsible for all of those crimes, surrounded in a house right back here. The frightening part for police as they moved in was that they also had information there were 5 other people in the house with him. Let's take a look at some videotape we shot just after 9 o'clock. One of those people coming out. Those people have all, in fact, left the house now. Only the Raspy robber suspect himself remains in that house, surrounded by police officers. We want to tell you a little bit more about the police work that led to the information that actually brought police here tonight. So for that, Detective Virginia Lopez joins us now. Detective, they had a car in mind. They found a car that matched the possible getaway car description, and they just kept an eye on it, right?
Right. They had it under surveillance earlier today. Once they saw somebody get inside that vehicle, they surrounded the vehicle. They then interviewed this suspect, or excuse me, they interviewed the person inside this vehicle, which then led them to the address behind me. In the meantime, they did obtain information that 5 other people were inside that home. They've all since been evacuated. We do believe we have the suspect involved barricaded inside this home behind me.
After this crime spree that spanned 2 weeks plus, 23 businesses, and now 3 different cities, it must be some relief tonight to at least believe that you have the man who may be behind these crimes.
It's a major relief. Each time he produced a weapon, however, he never hurt any of his victims, but that's not to say at some point it would not have escalated.
At this point, negotiators are either on their way or have just arrived to try to talk this guy out of the house, see if they can bring him out peacefully.
Right, and we're prepared to be here as long as it takes and hopefully able to talk him out. However, we will do what we need to do to bring this to a safe conclusion.
And just to clarify, you don't know if this is his house. The man you saw get in that car was not the suspect, but through your investigation after you had him, you found out that this is where this guy probably was.
I should say that the person that we saw get inside that vehicle, we're not sure what that person's relationship is to the suspect, but it ultimately led us to the location directly behind me.
Thank you very much, Detective Virginia Lopez. Denver police, again, right now, surrounding a home in which they believe they have cornered the man who is responsible for 23 robberies in the last 2 weeks plus. Negotiators are on their way here right now to try and bring him out peacefully. Live in Denver, Don Ward, WB2 News.
And Don, are they still asking you not to reveal your location? They don't want you to say where you are?
No, actually now it's West 4th Avenue and South Federal. There was some concern very early tonight that if perhaps the people inside didn't know that police were massing outside, they didn't want us giving away information or specifics on exactly what they were doing. But now it appears everyone in that house is out except for the suspect, and he certainly knows police are out here, Wendy.
Don, thank you very much. Let's hope it all comes to an end tonight. Thanks.
Don.
Breaking news tonight, I'm Don Ward, live at South Federal and West 4th Avenue, where negotiations have now begun to bring out the man police strongly believe may be the Raspy robber. In a house back here, they got information that he was inside. They also learned that there were 5 other people in the house. You're seeing some videotape right now of one woman coming out less than an hour ago. All of the other people are now out of the house, but the man police suspect may be responsible for 23 holdups at businesses across the southwest part of Denver, and Sheridan and Englewood is holed up in there. Police are negotiating with him right now. I can hear their voices over a bullhorn as they try to bring him out peacefully. But remember, at each of these robberies, he displayed a weapon, so they believe he could be armed. They don't want to just go in there until they know things are safe. So right now, they are trying to bring him out, and this will wrap up 2 weeks plus of robberies that have been going on at businesses all over this area. Police say they are relieved tonight to have the man who may be responsible surrounded. They hope to bring him into custody. No one has been hurt here. They're hoping that is the way the evening will end. Reporting live, Don Ward, WB2 News.